we go. I'm sitting here with Jim Herbert, who's now with Patchworks. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Back in the business.
Yes, indeed.
And I'm going to foist the jar of destiny upon him.
Well, let's do this then.
Before I do that, tell us a bit about Patchworks. You know, what the challenges of you coming into that business are, and why you're so excited for the future of Patchworks.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, Justin. So Patchworks is an integration platform as a service, iPaaS. It's very technical and nerdy from that perspective. Actually, the idea is it makes it non-technical and nerdy. If you have a Shopify or a BigCommerce, Shopline, I have to say that because Deepak's over there, websites, and they are strategic partners to be fair. You need to take those orders. You can retype them like you used to in the olden days, or put them into a spreadsheet. As you grow, though, it's not going to work, right? So you want to automate your system as easy as possible.
Yep.
That's something I've been doing in e-commerce for 23 years, but you used to do it with a team of developers. With Patchworks, you can effectively do it point and click, drag and drop.
And you've got a new product out, haven't you?
We have.
You've actually you've put a whole integration toolkit for, I suppose it's for agencies and merchants to actually build their own integrations, right?
Exactly. And coming back to your first question about maybe the challenge, it's not so much a challenge, but it's the shift in focus for Patchworks. We used to be, Colin Stansbury described us as a white glove integration firm. We have a platform and we have a team to do it.
Yep.
From a scalability perspective, that's very hard. We'll have to hire and hire and hire and hire to support a global expansion that we're doing. So instead, agencies are now coming online and doing that for us.
Well, that means that, now you become more of a sort of channel sales business, and the agencies sell the platform.
100%, exactly.
Makes lots of sense. Lots of sense. So here's the jar. So dig deep. Pick a question. Don't dig from the top.
As long as it doesn't talk
Don't dig it from the top. If you don't like it, you can put it back in. Yeah. Who's your favourite BBC presenter? No.
Let's not do that one.
Let's not talk about that.
What for you in e-commerce is all mouth and no trousers?
Oh, this is one of my favourite questions.
Wow. This is quite
embarrassing. Mouth and no trousers is the thing as well. Exactly.
And it's a bit embarrassing because I said it might be the upcoming technology in a piece for Retail Technology Times about 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
AR. Augmented reality.
Yep.
It's just not taken off. Now with the new Apple products, I say that. Before I saw a new Apple product, I thought maybe when they're just like a normal pair of glasses, that could really work. But it's just, there's a lot of talk about it, a lot of hype, like there was with crypto for a while as well.
There's always something that we're hyping.
There's always a hype cycle, isn't there? Yeah, exactly. And so, but augmented reality, it's got some really specific use cases, but it's not ready for consumers. I think it'd be quite good in B2B, oddly. And a friend of mine's got an AR consultancy, did a lot of work with an engineering firm, so you could get to a cabinet, open it up, and it would, show the engineer what to do. That's a brilliant use case for it. But for fashion, apparel, retail, which seems to be what everyone's after, I haven't seen it work.
And this is, doesn't this hang in onto the sort of like what was last year's hype, which was the metaverse, which, obviously 40 billion invested. Well done. And yes, it may pay off eventually, but right now it's looking like, certainly at the moment it's on the hype cycle rather than on the sort of on the revenue generating cycle.
It's very early days, isn't it? I think it will capture the youth, right? I mean, we're men of a certain age, bluntly.
How dare you?
Possibly not aimed at us. If you know what I mean.
Grey beard.
The grey beard. And actually, coming back to AR, the best I've seen it work is actually by Snapchat in their kiosks. And that's because it's the same technology that my kids use to send silly filters to each other, if you know what I mean.
But when it comes down to in the future, we can. I think we can all envisage how it would work. How we need to overlay the data world over sort of the real world and make those two things come together. And I think we can see how that might work.
Absolutely.
But there's a long way to go.
A long way to go. And a lot of that's down to the hardware. Like, isn't these glasses, it'd be easy.
It's always about the hardware, isn't it?
Always.
Because when we're thinking about the mobile internet, when we all sat there with those WAP phones back in the day, wasn't we didn't go, this internet's a bit overhyped, we're not having any of that rubbish.
No, we did not, you're right, yeah. It was
as soon as the right piece of hardware came along, the whole thing goes bang.
Exactly right, yeah. So, and it's because ultimately it's all about user experience, isn't it? No one's going to walk around with a huge thing on their forehead that means you have neck muscles like Lewis Hamilton. It's just not going to be there, right? So, when they get that right, when that happens, then I can see something changing. Yeah.
Well, brilliant. Thank you so much. Great, great news that you've gone to Patchworks, and I see great things ahead for you guys. I'm really excited to see what happens.
Brilliant. Well, thanks for the little interview. Great stuff.
Pleasure.
Thanks, Justin. Nice
That's
one.
it.